Alright, so we're at the home of Steve Davis.
This thing is flashing.
Running model trains. This is our first time here, so we're very green, and they've been polite enough to invite us to come along and run some model trains. I am with my son here. I say I'm helping my son, but the fact is I don't really know what I'm doing either. We're getting some help from a man named John, and I just wanted to take a little video while I was here, show what the layout is. This is kind of the start or finish of the layout, depending on how you look at it. There are some trains that are computer controlled that are brought up to the start of the line. If we get to where the light's better, we can kind of see there's a couple trains parked down there. And that's the first train that we'll be running today. All of the mainline switches are controlled by motor instead of hand, so there's actually a person that changes those remotely so that our train will be on the right track, and then we just run along down the tracks. I think looked like there were about a dozen people here today, I'd say, trying to run trains, so it's quite an operation with a little bit for everybody to do. So this area is kind of modeled in the Fort Smith, Arkansas, Oklahoma area. Fort Smith is a part of the layout. This is actually Watts, Oklahoma, that we're looking at. Part of the layout has been scenic, and some of it's still got some work to do, but it's fully operational as far as trains go. So these guys are running DCC. It's digital controllers for all the trains, so a lot of them have sound. It is HO scale, which is, of course, the most common size. I'm an N-scaler myself, but couldn't miss out on an opportunity to do this. And so I'm going to be trying to take a little bit of video and make some commentary as I go. Hopefully show some people what this layout looks like. Maybe you'll get some ideas for your layout, or maybe you'd like to get a hold of Steve Davis and come run some trains. This is in Coweta, Oklahoma, is where Steve lives. And looking down the line, I believe that is Stillwell. Again, this is all very new to me, so I'm still learning all the places. But he has convenient signs, like here's Stillwell. He's got everything diagrammed out. Lots of neat little gadgets and toys on this layout. It's very oriented to the real thing, towards railroad operations. So it even has such niceties as working crossing gates. And if I do this right, I can probably trip the sensor for the infrared. It's got infrared sensors. Probably going to have to hold my hand over it a little longer than that to really fool it, but it's got sound. You can hear the bells chiming as it senses the train there. I take my hand away and it kind of operates. So all kinds of cool little things here. This is a huge layout, just really big. We were kind of in one leg of it that's kind of out of the way, but this thing's got, I'd say so far what I've shown on film is maybe 25% of the layout. So hopefully I'll get some video of things as we go along and just kind of piecemeal show you the different parts of the layout. So should be a lot of fun, and I'll get to post this on YouTube. We are about to
let you drive it. Sorry.
No problem. That's John. He's helping us.
You got a green signal there.
Oh, there's Steve.
See it?
And we're pulling out our first train.
Yeah, red. There, went red. Okay, I see that there. Okay. Let me get out of y'all's way.
No, you're not in our way.
We are rolling.
Just take it nice and easy out of there, son. So it looks like we're running some KCS units with a pretty good string of cars behind it. Actually, can't even see just yet how long it is because I can't see the end of the train. But HO has some extra little niceties with the DCC, of course, because it has sound and special lighting effects and things that we're not privileged to get it in scale. It's a little bit too small to put speakers inside of trains and whatnot. Sorry if the camera's shaky. This is on my cell phone, so I'm doing all this by hand. This is not the smoothest Uh-oh. Stop our train. We got a derailment down here.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Yep, slow her down. Looks like a serious issue here we'll have to fix. We'll start there, but we did get had a couple of cars derailed and hit on the ground there. But we are started back again. I'd say we probably got about a 20-car train here. Something about that much. There's our lead engine going past the mill up there. And of course it's dark back there in the corner. It's hard to see the details of the end of the train. But here comes the end of the train. Got a nice little KCS caboose on the end of it. And that's a little fuzzy, but you can see it a little bit there. Let me back away here a little bit. You can see we got a KCS caboose and engine. We're playing around with things like the sound. I think he's going to try to honk the horn. Did you try the horn? We'll have to figure out the horn. But there we are, pulling around.
Green signal though.
Pulling around into. Oh, okay. John's telling us the signal changes as we go through it. So we've got a red and green. That went to double red. Kind of caught that on film there.
Are you putting this on YouTube?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can pick up on it if you want.
Yeah. We want to show everybody how cool this is. Yeah, we're very green, so John's kind of telling us all the things we can do and warn us about the no-nos. So, he's telling us we can increase our speed a little. These are really nice cars. Looks like he's using KD style couplers and all metal wheels. Very nice. Two engines on the
How slick is that?
head of our train.
One thing it needs is
Yeah.
the brakes need to slow down a bit. Really fast dropping. I'm a signal guy, so I'm on.
They don't make that in N-gauge yet. Well, yeah, they do, I guess.
Look up the gauge. The NJ International. The only thing about the M scale on the NJ International, I've had to modify mine because the gates don't go all the way up. You probably mess with them. The gates, they come like right here, and they don't set up, and it's because of that. And I've modified a couple of them. We can't fix them, but
Well,
I'm a signal guy, so I'm picky. You know, that's my area, so I want to. You know what I mean?
my railroad used semaphores, and those are not. That M is not very good.
Go down there and follow your train. We'll have to slip by those guys.
Yeah.
More signals as we go along. They already changed color. This is a rock quarry.
All you gotta do is pull these up in here, come over there, go park, and then this one can come up, back up, grab the string and go.
We're going to slip behind you.
There. Right. Just
Thank
push
you.
that last car all the way to the back.
All right.
Disconnect from it.
We're actually going downhill at this time. Coming down the grade. Some other gentleman working the rock quarry. There's a really neat bridge right here. I haven't showed you yet, but we're not running across this bridge. We're up above it. But get a lot of nice detail with HO. Can't really get all that in N scale necessarily, but there's a long grade we've come down. We're actually going around the curve, following our train around. Over on the right is Hebner, Oklahoma. We're, of course, a long way from Hebner on our stretch. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we're gonna meet an oncoming train down. I know you can't see it quite yet. It's coming around the curve. You can kind of see a little bit of it down there. We're gonna meet that train, and the dispatcher's putting us into a siding as we come around. I don't think that's us. I think that's the approaching train.
I don't have a horn.
You probably have a horn somewhere. We just haven't figured out which button it is.
Ready?
Supposed to be.
Right now, you gotta get ready to stop because you've got another train here. I can say stop watching.
No, I was doing this.
There's getting pretty close. Let me get out of your way.
Get out here to see what's like.
We've got these. This train we're meeting is quite a monster. The slaves in the middle of it. You can hear them throttling down and waiting. The sound is just so cool. And the detail that you can see with HO is, of course, phenomenal if you have the room for HO. Nice weathering on those engines as well. So we're having to stop. The end of the siding is right down there where the switch is. We're actually just about to meet the end of the other train that's passing us. And we can see that they're both red.
It's like the traffic light.
And it just changed green on our side. So we're now clear to go. And these two trains have passed each other. They've cleared on the siding. Very cool. The job we were assigned today involves running between Watts and Heavener. So we'll actually be running back and forth different trains between Watts and Heavener all day as we go along operating the layout today. Looks like there's actually a train right down here. Some Missouri Pacific units having trouble getting traction.
How do you get the sound of this train?
I'm hearing what sounds like sound to me.
Well, the horn of the
Let me see. Huh. There was one that the sound talked out, or maybe that was it. I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's fine.
It's not the only train you're gonna run, so the other one.
Yeah, sure.
got control of it.
I can't make this
I
model.
didn't want to stone them.
No, I can't. I got a bigger problem. I can't get these engines to work together.
Are they on the track?
It's not even that simple. It's a comm system problem.
Uh-oh.
You got it all right?
So,
Daniel? You doing all right?
yes. John's keeping us in line.
Sound firm. Good luck, Slugger.
There's my friend Zach, by the way, that brought us up here today. We rode with Zach. It's kind of nice. He's cleaning some track now. Just a little maintenance as we run. We're running through a little crossing here. Sorry if I haven't shown you everything we passed. I'm trying to kind of show you what we're running through as we go by it. But with everything going on, it is shooting a herd around us.
Hang on, stop the train.
Looks like we got a derailment again.
Broke your knuckle.
Had a hopper car separate from the back of the boxcar. Lost our last 4 cars. That's a pretty good downhill grade there, as you can see from how fast they rolled to catch up to us there. Here go a couple of KCS units. Again, about 12 people operating here at the same time, so there's just stuff going on everywhere. Signals at the crossings. We are actually coming into the Salisaw yard here at this point.
You may be coming down.
You can't come up this heading.
Coming down to the Salisaw yard. They are building various trains for our job as well. And there's quite a few people down the aisle at the moment. I may have to show you Dan's Bridge later. Over here on the right, though, we have a massive coal train. Basically, the left and the right here connect. You go all the way down the end, massive bridge that curves and links these two areas together. And on my right is Spiro, Oklahoma, and then on the left is Salisaw. This month. So we're stopped at the moment. Looks like we're actually just getting on the bridge. I know you can't see it very good, but we'll have other trains that we run. So we'll be sure and catch that. Show you guys what that part of the layout looks like later. there's enough bodies down there that I don't really want to get into the middle of them right now. So just take a look at what's here up close. This train here is being run by my friend Zach. Sudden start there. Oh, you lost some cars, Zach.
Thanks, Slack Action.
What's your job today, Zach?
I am playing Southall Yard Master.
Southall Yard Master. That's what he's doing.
Which I think is a thankless job.
He told me that already, but you know, with everything going on, hard to keep. We got some little indicators here. I'm not sure what they're for. I'm sure it has a purpose. I don't know what it is because, again, my first time to ever see this layout. Pretty green to it, but I'm sure it has to do with the train building that he's doing. Meanwhile, my son's gone all the way through Spyro and he's headed back out. This is us running beside this coal train here, and we're coming out of Spyro. We'll get a better shot of Spyro later when it's a little less crowded. Oh, we got a red signal here.
Yeah, it was green.
Oh, we derailed.
It was green when he went through it.
Oh, okay.
Did he switch it on us?
This is actually Fort Smith
No.
in front of us.
No, it drops to red.
That we've managed to come into, and there's a grain elevator. No doubt modeled after the OK Foods grain elevator. That's my assumption. I don't know that to be true. This layout is modeled around 1982, so the names of some businesses are not necessarily matching what they are today in 2014.
Is that the horn?
Did you find the horn?
What's that one doing there?
It honked
engine.
angrily.
What's that engine doing?
It's helping you.
Are they synchronized? Or?
Sure. You've got two engines on your train. We're trying to pick up our speed a little bit.
Yeah.
So we don't fall behind schedule.
You know. Yeah.
Darn greenhorns. There's a cool little culvert on the side of the track there. Kind of trying to give you a glimpse of what the layout looks like as we go down through here. There's the end of our train again. So very neat. Tunnel for Jensen. We're not going through the tunnel. We're actually going beside it, running around to another part of the layout. We'll pause for a moment. There's the coming around the curve is the other side of the Jensen Tunnel. And you can see there's another long straightaway. There's a curve at the end of it that comes back around to the right and meets up with the Heavener Yard. This is the bigger yard on the layout is the Heavener Yard. And that's the majority of the layout, even though I haven't showed you in great detail. That's the basis of the main part of the layout. And I'll try to get you more detail as we can of the staging tracks. This is Podo that we've managed to get down here and squeeze it past some people and catch Podo. It comes into the curve down at the end. And, we're coming around, headed toward Heaven.
We've just had a few, usually some sessions that happen with that we were talking about up there was, okay, we've got a yellow, we get, sorry, I mean, stepping in front of you.
Oh, you're fine. Things are a little tight. The aisles here are probably 3 foot wide, I'd say, 3.5 feet. Between 3 to 4 feet. You get this many people, and it does get a little crowded. Sorry, I hope I'm not making you dizzy there. But I wanted to show you this cool trestle. Would have liked to catch the train running over it, but maybe later. Maybe I can edit it and catch a train that's as we're going across it. But there's the long view looking down into the Heavener yard. Heavener is actually going to be our final destination for this train, where we'll pick up another train and head back northbound.
What's the next
Go
car?
back the other direction.
Blue one.
You don't know where you left it?
Oregon Pacific Eastern. 15101.
Having some problems there with that train. I'm actually going to walk around just so you can see the staging area. This is not part of the necessarily operational area per se, although it does include an upper level with a model of Waldron, Arkansas that's really kind of independent from everything else, is what they tell me. But a lot of the trains are started and stopped by computer. They're computer controlled. Once they get to a certain point, the computer grabs them and shunts them into a staging area or brings them back out. So up top is the Waldron area. I'll give you a quick shot of Waldron so you can kind of see there is actually a person operating just the Waldron area, but that person stays pretty much right in this area the whole time. You can see a loop over there. If we look up a little bit, we can catch the tail end of a KCS passenger train that's headed toward Watts. It's going to be a southbound train coming out of Watts where we started this video. And over here to my right is a double track helix that kind of serves both as staging. It can serve as a staging yard, and also it gets the trains from this lower staging area. I know the light's a little bit dim and hard to see, but here's a decent shot. It gets trains from the lower staging area up into the helix, or up to the area at Watts. Also, we have some additional staging down here, and there's some cool Missouri Pacific cabooses, or caboose if you like. I like mop stuff, so kind of a fan, kind of particular. All stuff that you will see, of course, running in this area. You'll see a lot of KCS, a lot of Missouri Pacific. We've actually got a Rio Grande train, which is not typical for this area, but coal is very typical for this area. I just don't see a whole lot of Rio Grande. And you see some Frisco. Haven't seen a whole lot of Frisco today. It is, of course, a KCS layout, so we're going to see a lot of KCS more than probably anything, especially as far as power. And if I come down, I can actually catch the beginning of that Rio Grande train. Sorry if this video is, crazy, because I'm all over the place here looking at different things. But there's just a lot here. You can hear those engines idling. It sounds so good with all of them just sitting here waiting. Very cool. Actually, I see some Southern Pacific power back there, some Santa Fe. Of course, being in the staging yard gives us a good glimpse of just all the variety of things that we'll be seeing throughout the day. The upper part of the staging, we've got some Burlington Northern and just a whole lot of KCS. So that's the basic gist of the layout. I'll try to catch some more details and edit them in.
Stop. That was your name. I didn't do it. Okay, got a bell.
Hey, there's our sound.
Now that we're all the way down to the end, slow it down.
I don't think it's stop. You hit my car and you coupled up. Didn't want you to do that. Come forward. Have a tug of war. Didn't want you to do that. Come this way.
Oh, wrong way.
I'm sorry. Come backwards.
You know.
There you go. Good job. Okay, just a minute. Stop.
So we've got it shut down, but it's still responding.
And I need you to go down. Come on, switch throw.
Yeah, set a handbrake. Literally, a hand. Right.
Don't run off.
All right.
How's it going over here?
That was
The
not
ones that came in, they're taking their power to the house.
The cold weather going back and forth. Arkansas, Oklahoma is infamous for cold and hot weather. has wreaked havoc with some of our electrical stuff.
Stop beyond the switch so you don't foul right here.
Don't dial up any numbers.
And when you get there, take your engine numbers off of your throttle. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's good anywhere.
Right there.
That's good. Now take the numbers off your throttle.
Down to 0. We're using Digitrax here, and then hit select. Is that correct?
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Right, Jack. That's good. That's
You
fine.
got your numbers taken care of, Orville?
I think I have.
All right, you got them all checked off?
Okay, let it go to voicemail.
Let me have the list, please.
Talk to them, I get the number. And you're gonna be saying, "Where's those cars?" And you're gonna be saying, "Where did this one come from? What do I do with it?" And you're gonna be out there not knowing what to do. You'll be lost if we don't do our job right. You won't be able to do your job right, which just goes right on downhill. Nobody can do their job.
I wanted to show you while we're waiting the projector that's dispatching information up above. He's got these cool fascia boards everywhere, of course, with helpful information and even clocks. They use fast clocks and they do things on a real-time schedule, just like the real railroads. We're waiting on clearance for our northbound train out of Havener to run back the other direction. And we're held up waiting for clearance before we can leave. We have 3 KCS engines on the front of this guy. Our train is built, it's put together. We are waiting on the dispatcher to tell us we can go, at which point we will leave Havener. We'll run up this long track down through the curve, and I will be able to get some video of the train coming across this little trestle bridge here as it makes its way along. And so I'll have that. Train going, coming around this curve in the back. There's actually a Missouri Pacific train. We're moving pretty fast through this curve. We're trying to make up some lost time on the clock here, I think. Area that I missed earlier between Spiro and Salisaw. If you've ever been through Spiro, you recognize that bridge. There's an underpass. We have a red signal that we're waiting on here in Spiro, but once we get a green signal, I'll just show you this bridge. Of course, runs along the track, and here we go. This is quite a bridge that makes the circle. That's a section of the layout between Spiro and Salisaw. So these signals do work. They change, of course, as you saw earlier, as you go through them. Just to pan back a little bit and give you the sense of the size of that bridge. There it is. That's pretty big. Pretty big bridge. So we'll try to catch the train coming across it here in a few minutes when we get clearance to go through that crossing.